Hey peeps, we are back. We're talking The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 13, Episode 2. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Hey, before we get into the show, let's just go over some little things I found online. One thing that I found was from an interview with Jackie from New Jersey. You know, Jackie, the friend of. And I think they should start putting that on her title. It should say Jackie, friend of Marge. Anyway, she said, it's hard to go into the room that you were once the center of attention and now there's what, 7 housewives? So to be the 8th person in line, that was like a little bit of an ego punch. Honey, listen, you're not really 8th in line. You're the friend of Margaret that we really don't need or require. But we already knew that. We already knew how you felt by the way you treated Rachel last episode. Talking about she didn't even look at you. She needs to study on her social skills. Girl, you need to study on your social manners. I'm just saying. Speaking of Jackie, Danielle has been making the rounds due to her being the new housewife. You know, she's being interviewed quite a bit. They asked her about her opinion on Jackie, and she said, I think she was the least nicest to me and showed me who she was. I had nothing against her. She was like my Staten Island girl. I never got a good vibe from her. Honey, now listen, Jackie, as Jennifer said later in the episode, Jackie can be a snob. And she can be a little snobby from time to time. I think that Jackie is just really sad right now that she's been demoted and trying to get into every scene she can make it into in hopes to becoming a regular again. I don't know. I can't really blame her. I think that if I was demoted and they asked me to be a friend of, and I had to take a back seat to these new ladies, I might be a little sad and depressed about it as well. I would hope that I would be mature enough not to be rude and mean to the ladies just because, you know, they're in my old spot. If you want to get your spot back, you have to become interesting, girl. You are Teddy Mellencamp, and you got a lot more chances than Teddy Mellencamp. I'm just saying, girl, bye. Also, guess who else was hanging out together? Teresa and Jacqueline Larita. Yes, Teresa and her husband Louie went out to Vegas and hung out for a while. They had a 5-hour lunch with Jacqueline and her husband. And Andy Cohen said, hell is frozen over when the two of you have made up and are spending time together. They really enjoyed their time together. I have no idea if this newfound friendship is because Jacqueline is no longer friends with Melissa. I have no clue. But it was nice to see Teresa and Jacqueline. Now on to the show. So the show picks up right where it left off. Dolores is still having a fit over Jennifer calling her a bad friend. Jennifer is still outside. She still thinks Dolores looks like an old handbag. The editors do a flashback of Dolores defending Jennifer. And I said, you know what? Get the hell on. Don't just show the flashbacks when Dolores was trying to be a good friend to Jen. Show all the flashbacks when Dolores was absolutely throwing Jen under the bus and calling her the see you next Tuesday, which, by the way, she called her a see you next Tuesday in this episode again. And I said, you know what, Dolores, you are really starting to piss me off. That is so disgusting. She throws the see you next Tuesday around as if she just called somebody Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like, she throws the see you next Tuesday around as if it's simple as saying that girl over there. That is so rude. It's so vulgar and disgusting. At some point, we go to Danielle's house and we see her kids. Now, her kids are adorable. Last week, we saw her daughter flip the bird. Then her son said some kind of curse word and they had to correct him. But in this episode, he says he can speak the British. Mother, the F word. And I said, well, buddy, he is adorable. He is adorable. And I would have told him, buddy, I don't ever want to hear you're British again. This is ridiculous. You are not allowed to talk like this. Her kids are adorable, but they are too daggone much. Then we see the beautiful Olivia over there at Jennifer's house talking about she doesn't want to go out and play. She said because she doesn't want to mess around and fall and mess up her natural nose. I said, oh Lord, she is her mother's child. She is really good and quick on the shade. Okay, I love it. I love it. Then we see Teresa. Teresa is at her house smiling. Oh yes, she is excited. She is happy. She is planning her wedding. She's getting these invitations together. She's talking about having Cirque du Soleil and fireworks. I mean, she is over there just enjoying her life, having a good old time. And then they go to Joe and Melissa. They sitting around the bedroom, packing, talking about Teresa. I said, oh, damn. Still, that's what y'all got. That's all you got. Okay. Later, they work their way into the living room. Still talking about Teresa. I said, again? Are we still talking about Teresa? How long has the crew been at the house? And this is all you got. Okay, you guys have 3 children. You don't have anything. You've got 3 children. Can we hear about your alleged corrupt businesses? Can we talk about what you made for dinner last Tuesday? What's happening with the fake storyline you had about the sibling that you think you may have, but you may not have, and the psychic said you could possibly have? What is going on with you and your sisters? What? Joe, you don't have any friends. What? We are still doing this? 10 seasons in, all we got is Teresa. And then he's talking about how it's mostly Louis' fault. I said, wait a minute. Before it was Joe Giudice. Now it's Louis' fault. Cut the crap. Then they talked about the seating arrangements at the engagement party, and they talk about it again at the end of the episode. But I would just like to point out, when the Gorgas had that christening, Teresa was not sitting with the family at the family table. The only people who sat at that table was Melissa's family, her and Joe, and her children. Now, when they had Antonia's party, Teresa wasn't at the head table either. It was just Melissa's family, her sisters, her mom, not Teresa. But when you go to Teresa's engagement party, you expect to sit at the head table. When it all comes down to this, you're at the party, you got 3 choices. 1, you can not make a fuss and sit the hell on down. Have some food, have some cake, do a little dancing, whatever. Or 2, you could pull up a chair at the table where Teresa and everybody is. Or 3, you could just go on home. One of the 3, do something. Just stop this arguing about it back and forth. It's ridiculous. Danielle takes her cute kids over to Jen's house to visit Jen and her cute kids. Now, when she gets there, Jen is ready to show off that house. I said, Lord, I give her 5 minutes before she brings up the 16 bathrooms. I can't remember. Is it 16 bathrooms or 8? But she didn't bring it up. If she did, they didn't show us. But she did make sure that she mentioned we've got a basketball court and a movie theater. She made sure that everybody knew about that. So Danielle was really loving the house. And she said that she hopes that her kids don't break her balls about their house not being the same. I said, girl, them kids can try to break my balls all they want. Break off a check. You're too damn small to go to work. So until you can work and help mama, forget about it. Okay. Mama is not married to a plastic surgeon. I'm just saying. Anyway, if there are any plastic surgeons listening, I'm single. I'm just saying. Anyway. They end up getting on the phone with Teresa because they want to find out what happened with Teresa's meeting with Marge. First thing they said was, did Marge apologize? Teresa says, no. I said they should have known. They should have known. That lady knows that she owed Teresa an apology. And it really sucks that she couldn't just stand there, face Teresa head on and apologize. She knew good and daggone well that she had drug Louis and Teresa through the mud last season. Oh, Marge, she is such a hypocrite. But then they tell us that Marge's friend, who is now an ex-friend, Laura, reached out to them because she wanted to share information with them. She wanted them to know everything that's going down with Marge. And she also wanted them to know that Marge does go out and seek to find information on all of them, as if we didn't know that. And also as if we didn't know that Marge is the one who's talking to the press, in my opinion. So therefore it's alleged. Don't come suing me, Marge. Anyway, they said that the lady told them some things, and then she also told them something about somebody else, but they weren't going to bring it up. They were very clear that they were not going to bring it up. They were not going to use it. Jennifer makes the comment that she's definitely not going to use it unless she absolutely has to, but she can't think of any reason why she would need to drop this tea. Now listen, that friend went on a little podcast.
Was your way to get them to come meet with you by saying like, oh, I have this tea on Melissa?
Absolutely not. I did not ever say that. I met with Teresa to tell her about other things that I knew. I knew who Margaret was talking to try to get info on Louis. And I also had info about other things. Nothing to do with the cheating rumor. Nothing. Not speak for what she has in her mind, but all I could say is there was no way she was going after Margaret. I've said this before. She needs Margaret. Margaret's the brains behind the operation. She can't turn on Margaret because then everybody knows the rumor's true. She's going to stick with Margaret. She needs her. Why? Right. I don't know if Margaret told her to blame Teresa. I have no idea what happened. I wasn't there.
Honey, now listen. It sounds like to me she's talking about Melissa and that alleged affair that we keep hearing so much about. So I have a feeling that pretty soon, maybe 1, maybe 2 episodes from now, at some point, someone is going to drop that little tea about Melissa possibly having an affair. And if they do, they better bring some receipts. Because one thing is for sure, I am getting sick of all these housewives always having a comment about somebody must have cheated, somebody was doing this, they was walking with a blue-eyed man or a blonde woman who looks like Karen. Now listen, where are the receipts? Phone records, real video proof, pictures from the front, not from the back. I'm just saying, hotel receipts. I want all of the info. Otherwise, leave it off the show. We're sick of it. Then we go over to Rachel's house. Now listen, Rachel has a tiny baby. She is 3 months old and the most adorable. Okay, they have her dressed up so cute and a little bow on her head. You know, she was adorable, little headband. But not only does she have her tiny 3-month-old, she's got a tiny 2-year-old and a 15-year-old as well. Now, the 15-year-old needs a lesson in responsibility, okay? She says that she calls him her stepson because people ask her about her age when she just calls him her son. Well, ma'am, get over it. You have been in this boy's life. They showed pictures and flashbacks. She's been in his life almost his entire life. Girl, stop telling people that's your stepson because people ask you your age. Girl, go on somewhere and stop being so damn vain. Anyway, the little boy, 15 years old, and he's already broken 5 phones or lost 5 phones in a year. That is a absolute hell to the no. Okay? The first phone you broke, all right, we've got insurance on it. Mama will replace it. The second phone, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, you are going to pay for that, and we're not using the insurance. No, you need to learn a lesson. Once you have to pay the $700, $800, $1,000 for these damn iPhones out of your own pocket, I bet you won't break another one, and I'm absolutely positive you won't lose the next one.
Mother.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good.
You get back up, and then when risk my beautiful nose that's actually natural?
I felt weird there. We got put on the other table.
I just really don't know how much more I can take.
Did she apologize?
No.
Well, Laura is Margaret's ex-best friend. They had some sort of falling out, and this Laura was trying to get in touch with me and Teresa to just tell us stuff.
To lay dirt on our ex-best friend?
He basically told us everything that Margaret had told her.
Did she talk about anybody else or just Margaret? We're not mentioning the serious thing?
That'll make us just as dirty as Margaret.
I don't think I'm going to need to tell anybody this information.
When I lick his balls.
Ooh, Melissa.
I don't think I'm a prude. I think that I'm
classy.
Listen, she accused me of not being a good friend. Can anybody here say that I was?
No, you were such a good friend to her. You really were.
No, Jennifer and Teresa met with an ex-friend of mine digging for info about me. After I make up with you, you still do undermining things. It's weird.
Yeah, it's cute. Very nice.
It's gonna be an awkward wedding, just like it was in LA. You are my wife, and she didn't even ask you to be in the wedding. He adds to the fire. I mean, it's almost like she met him and she went like ape shit again.
Jennifer's house can literally eat my house for breakfast. If someone says my house is cute, like small, I'm gonna have a problem.
So cute. Stop sticking up for this.
You think you did anything?
They both said,
oh my God.
So we get to Margaret's house and Melissa shows up with sprinkle cookies. I said, listen, that's something else. Teresa made the sprinkle cookies something huge. Any chance Melissa has bring sprinkle cookies, she does. And here's Marge. Hey, everybody. Melissa brought the sprinkle cookies. I'm with Teresa. Don't nobody want no damn sprinkle cookies. Now, when they play that game to write down something that you do sexually that you're embarrassed by, I thought about it for about 4 minutes. And I said, there is nothing that I do sexually that I'm embarrassed by. I mean, there are some sexual things that I don't do that I would absolutely be embarrassed about if somehow I did, because I'm a prude, I think. But then Melissa brings up licking balls. And then she says that she's embarrassed about it a little bit because she's classy. I said, no, ma'am, because a classy girl would never tell or mention it. Just lick your husband's balls and go on about your business. Why do we need to know? Then we have Dolores. Honey, listen. She's a good friend. I've been a good friend. Ma'am, you have not been a good friend. You are a terrible friend, as a matter of fact. And I thought it was really funny that out of nowhere, here's Jackie. Oh, yes, you were really a good friend. I said, wait a minute. Wasn't that Jackie last season that was telling Dolores that she was a bad friend? So now that you're a friend of Margaret's, you're trying to get some time. I can tell you want to become friends with Dolores so you can film with her. Dolores was not a good friend to Jennifer. She was on and off throughout the whole season. And then by the time they got down to the reunion, she treated Jennifer like garbage and continued to call her the see you next Tuesday. Get the hell out of here. Then Marge all of a sudden twists the whole story and says that Jen and Teresa, but she focused heavily on Jen, reached out to her ex-friend and they were trying to dig up dirt on her. I said, oh, Margaret, you sound scared. You sound scared. Oh, you don't want people to talk about you? You don't want us to know all of your trash and dirt, but you definitely wanted us to know everything about Louis. You definitely wanted us to know that Bill Aiden is a cheater. You wanted us to know all of that, but you don't want us to know what this lady is telling about you. And you also don't want us to know that you told that lady a bunch of stuff, allegedly, about Melissa cheating. You don't want any of that to come out. I want it out. All of it. We've seen Dolores and that Paul. They are not about to beat the hell out of us with this couple. Listen, I'm glad Dolores is happy. I'm glad Paul is happy. Now leave us the hell alone. Now when the invitations arrived, they were gorgeous. As soon as I saw the invitations, the first thing I thought about was Ramona Singer. Getting her invitations delivered and instantly going to Instagram because she is thirsty as hell. She is on Instagram showing off this woman's invitations. Now, Teresa does bring it up and she seemed to be really zen about it. She didn't seem pissed off and angry, or, you know, she wasn't outrageous and screaming and hollering like she normally does. And she said that she was just going to email everybody a new password. What happened was we found out that she actually did order brand new invitations. And I believe she said the brand new invitations went out and it cost her $11,000 because of Ramona Singer clout chasing out on Instagram, dropping all this woman's details to her wedding.
Are you and Melissa okay now?
I was just in California with her and I had a great time with her.
Really?
Yeah.
This is cute.
Yeah. Danielle, are we waiting on Jackie?
No. I just got the vibe. Like when you're talking to someone and they're just like,
Hiya. Good, how are you?
she's eyeing me up and down. Like, what's the shoes? What's the bracelet stitch? What's going on? I was like, oh God.
She's a snob.
I don't think she's a snob. I think every one of us is a little uppity.
She was also rude to me too at your house.
And maybe you kind of snapped at me.
But did I snap at you or did you snap at me?
When you said you should admit that you were kind of hypocritical, I think that triggered me.
You don't have to be a hang-up on the word hypocritical.
I'm just stating what happened right now.
No, okay. Stop going back.
Bunch of sick get turned on by cheese.
No, you guys met with my girlfriend.
Yes.
Why?
You know what? That girl was trying to get in touch with me. So I'm like, let me just hear what this woman has to say. Margaret, listen, I'm not bringing anything that she said to the table. I'm just telling you how it is.
But you understand why things don't seem genuine?
What is going on?
She was
like,
concerned the way you think a little bit.
Oh, good. Be concerned. Good,
I know. I'm being honest with you.
But I don't. This is the thing. The way that you think about me has no effect on me. So
you don't want to be friends?
Listen, friends is a spectrum. Margaret, you don't get to tell me what's a normal way to be. Really, you don't. Yeah, I don't know who died and put you in charge. Who the needs Karens when you got a Margaret? I don't have issues with Dolores.
Oh my God. Drown me in the pool already.
Please, somebody. I don't know, babe. You don't care. So, Dolores, who? We're good.
Jennifer, if you have a problem with me, come to me. You just badmouth me.
I didn't on you until you on me.
Billy said it after all
true, and if that's what you think.
Guys, neither one of you are owning your part in this. It's never going to get anywhere.
Jen Fessler.
It's
the wrong place to do it.
I can't with this.
I don't want
guys want a relationship. I know
It's okay to just be how we are. We're in the same place.
We
show
with
up.
that.
Fine. That's
Fine.
it.
She was sitting at my table.
What?
Because she asked to move to the other table.
Are you kidding me right now?
Teresa. But I don't want to talk about it.
Hold on. I thought right now you would never look at me in the eyes and lie.
And when we get to Danielle's house, because she's having some kind of mozzarella party, they were calling it moots or something, honey. I can't pronounce it like that. I really can't. And I've been to a lot of parties, but we never just made a bunch of cheese. And also, the ladies were swooning and acting as if this was so arousing while they were making that cheese. And I said, there is nothing about cheese that turns me on. Now, let me tell you, I love cheese. I love a lot of cheese. When I make my macaroni, I put 10 to 12 cups of cheese in it, because I love cheese, but I have never gotten moist over some cheese. I'm just saying, I thought that was weird and awkward. But anyway, Danielle is at her house waiting for all the girls to get there. She is super excited, and she says after seeing Jen's house, she certainly hopes that no one comes to her house and, calls her house cute. And I said, Danielle, listen, don't compare yourself to other people. Jen's house is beautiful, yes it is, but not everybody wants a house like Jen's. Not everyone needs a house like Jen's. So don't compare. I think Danielle's house looks amazing. It's big enough for her and her family, and she has nothing to feel bad about or ashamed about. However, as soon as Dolores got there, the first words out of her mouth was, "Oh, this is so cute." Dolores, listen, we have seen you globe-trot around New Jersey. We have seen you go from one empty house to the next. We have seen you create a whole animal shelter at your house. Listen, leave this woman in her damn house alone. So they talk about Jennifer a little bit, and Dolores says that she's over it. She's sick of her. She's done with her. And then Dolores makes this comment about smashing Jennifer's face in. And she called her the see you next Tuesday. And I said to myself, how the hell old are you? Serious. Why is it that no one is mentioning how aggressive Dolores is? Why is it that every season she's got to pop off and act like she is about to fight somebody? I mean, seriously, I would love it for somebody else to stand up to her. Like, what in the hell makes her think that she is this badass that can just whoop everybody? Grow the hell up. You want to try to smash somebody's face in because you can't use your words. Jennifer will rip you to shreds using words. She doesn't have to physically assault you. I just think Dolores has run her course for me. And I thought it was interesting that when the girls asked Melissa, how everything went with Teresa in LA, Melissa acted as if Teresa was rude, it was negative, they had a bad experience. But when Teresa was asked, she said that they had a good time and she enjoyed seeing Joe and Melissa when they were in LA. I said, well, why does it seem like Teresa is really trying, but Joe and Melissa keep forging this story? And it just seems as if this is the purpose, is storyline. Now, what I did like is when they asked Danielle if Jackie was coming, and she said no. I got a kick out of that. I laughed a little bit. She said no. She felt like Jackie was rude to her and snobby, and she really just doesn't have time for that. I said, wow, now she has really made Jackie a friend of Marge. Then when Rachel wants to jump in and try to say that Jennifer jumped on her, no, you jumped on Jennifer. You tried to call her a hypocrite, and the situation is not the same. Was she doing too much, treating Marge the way she was? Absolutely. But that's not a hypocrite. Marge is a cheater. Joe is a cheater. Bill is a cheater. Jennifer, not a cheater. That's two different things, not a hypocrite. But what really pissed me off is Marge trying to jump in the conversation and tell Jennifer, I thought we've moved past that. I thought we've gone past that. That has nothing to do with you and her apologizing and moving forward. This girl called her a hypocrite. She was responding. You should really pipe the hell down, Marge, because you truly are the real hypocrite in the group. Now, the new Jen, the Gen F, she was doing a lot. First of all, she seemed a little thirsty to me. She was trying to get involved. Dolores quickly shut her the hell down. Then she was eating all strange and weird. She took a bite out of the cheese. The cheese is still in the bowl. I thought that was nasty and disgusting. Now we have to throw this cheese out because you put your mouth all over it. Girl, yuck. Anyway, she seems like a nice lady, but she's doing too damn much. I'm not here for that. Now, Marge asked Jen if she could have a talk with her, and Marge was being disrespectful. The way she was approaching the subject, she was talking really fast and trying to control the conversation. She wasn't letting Jen get a word in edgewise, and she expected Jen, Aiden, to just sit back and allow it. I think that Marge should really leave Jen the hell alone. You really played her last season. You outed a secret that she hadn't told anybody about her husband's affair. And if she wanted to use any of that information that that lady told her, she would have used it. She said she wasn't, and Marge still kept on harassing her about it, and that will push her to use it. If you don't want her using this information, maybe you should stop being a jerk. I would never sit there and continue a conversation with Marge. Jen is trying to explain herself. Marge won't let her get a word in edgewise. Plus, she's screaming in this woman's face. Then she told her that she was marijuana paranoid or something that she said, which is laughable. Absolutely laughable. And clearly, you don't know enough about marijuana because, you know, that is not one of the side effects. And I wasn't mad at Jen for saying Dolores is the one with the problem. Dolores is the one with the problem. Girl, let it go. But what I did appreciate is that they both decided to just stay cordial. Keep it moving. Hello and goodbye. That's grown women business right there. That's how it should be handled. You know, the whole Melissa and Teresa going back and forth, we've seen it. We've seen it 1,000 times. They have gone back and forth about this seating chart, the bridesmaid situation. You guys are not close. You are not friends. You don't have to be in the wedding. You don't have to be in the wedding. Move on. Melissa and Joe will probably regret the fact that they didn't come to that wedding. This is your sister, the only sister that you have. You guys are the only members of the family left. Let go of this. Move on from it. You know, Teresa was saying that they have parted ways completely, 100%. And I'm sorry to hear that. I hope at some point they're able to pull their relationship back together. But until everyone in the relationship grows the hell up, this is what's going to happen over and over again. Or at least until Bravo gets rid of one set of the family. I'm just saying it's not going to be Teresa and Louis. Anyway, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.